Today, we're going to be going over a short story by H.P. Lovecraft, and before we get going, I am aware that there is a bunch of controversy surrounding H.P. Lovecraft as a person. Today we're just going to talk about the story, and then later on I'll do an actual H.P. Lovecraft discussion about him as a person and sort of why everybody's upset about his work. The Beast in the Cave is about a man who wanders away from his group while touring a series of caves, and he thinks he's clever enough to find his way back. He's wrong. By the time he realizes he's lost, he's been wandering alone for over an hour, and, he knows he's out of voice range of anybody. He knows nobody even knows he's missing, because it's not like he told anybody, he just sort of slipped out the back. And his torch is kind of fading, and he just kind of realizes, like, oh, I'm gonna die here. And he starts congratulating himself on how calm he is about the whole thing. And that most people in this situation would panic, but here I am, genteel to the last. And he just kind of resolves to slowly starve to death in this cave. And then just before his torch starts to fade, he gives it one final go. He says, well, I'll at least try, I'll make every effort. And he starts to shout and call for help. And he hears footsteps coming towards him. Except they're not the tour guide coming to find him, because the tour guide's wearing boots, and that would be sort of a sharp staccato on the limestone floor. This sounds more like the pads of bare feet, or like a beast or an animal, and it seems that it is sometimes walking on 2 legs and sometimes walking on 4. And the light goes out, and all he can hear are these footsteps getting closer and closer to him. So he decides it's probably some type of mountain lion or bear or something that's gotten lost in the caves just like he has, and that it heard the sound of its voice and it's coming to see if it can get a meal. And he says, well, either I'm going to kill this beast or the beast is going to kill me. So he kind of scrounges around on the ground. He's in the dark now, he's blind. So he scrounges around for some rocks, and he stands there and he waits with these 2 rocks in his hand. And when the beast is close enough, he throws one of the rocks and he misses. But he hears the thing scrabble over to the side as it sort of dodges away from the rock. And because of the sound, he knows where it is, and he throws the second rock and he hits it. And he hears the beast fall. And then all he can hear is the thing breathing. So he knows it's still alive, and he's just stunned it. Just after he realizes, like, oh, this thing's gonna wake up and it's gonna be furious, he hears the tour guide's boots. And he sort of shouts, and he runs towards the sound of the tour guide calling his name. And he just falls at the guy's feet, and now all of the panic sort of rolls out of him, and he just loses it. He turns into a mess. He's blubbering at the man's boots. And he says, you won't believe what's happened. Here, come look, come see this thing that I've knocked out with this stone. And they get there. And it's something like they haven't ever seen before, because it's Lovecraft, right? So this thing is covered in long, silky white hair, and then they sort of roll it over, and they realize, as it's sort of gurgling out its final breath, because he's killed it with this stone, and it's dying, and it's gurgling out its final breath, and they realize that it's a man. And he's been in the cave for so long that the darkness has bleached all of the color out of his skin and out of his hair, and all he was doing was running towards the sound of another human voice, trying to be saved. By the time they realize that it's a man, he dies, and we never find out who he was, or how he got down there, or how long he'd been there. That's it. That's the whole story. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, and of course, if you like the way that I present information, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell down below. You can find all of my social media contacts in the description. And of course, if you want to keep up with me and the progress I'm making on my current novel, you can do that at effywritesbooks.com. Thank you so much for watching, have an excellent day, and I'll see you next time.